And that's personified in the piece by a duet, two lovers, one is betrayed, one is the betrayer. And it's a very personal feeling. I mean, I grew up in an area outside of DC, and I was taught all of those great American things, like we're great and we're always right and we help people everywhere. And Christopher Columbus founded us and all these things. And it was a great betrayal in college when I actually got, I think, my first real political education, to learn that those things aren't exactly the truth. And that betrayal has really stayed with me, and it's part of what motivated this particular work. Let's see. The Keith is here, so I have to say this. I kind of got nudged a little bit by both Keith and Chrissy Kiefer, because they would ask me sometimes, Chrissy most recently, why do you make your work so abstract? So with this piece, I tried to go more toward the literal and you know, the utterly clear and the obvious, and that was a great formal and aesthetic experiment for me. And I'm not really sure where it leaves me. I'm not sure where I want to continue with that. It's going to take me several months of kind of soaking in this piece and my relationship to it. And the reason I mentioned Keith is as he's using his toothpick. He wrote an article for, what was that, Movement Research, about a complaint about artists that state a political intention and yet you see their work and you have no idea what they're talking about. So I really didn't want to make that mistake, because I've made that before, and so it's a real learning curve for me, and I hope those of you that saw it might have been pleased with that or seen that evolution in my work, if you see my work at all. I think that's all I want to say. Do you guys want to see any video, or are you good? Yes. Yes? Okay. So are we timing this? I guess I'll time it. I can't see it from here. So this is the Live Billboard project. It was made on the corner of 24th and Mission, and we were looking at the question, which is a common question in my work, who owns the commons? And we were looking at who owns public airspace. That was one question. Women in a state of an empowered body in public space, where on a billboard where nothing was being bought or sold at our expense. So that was one of the primary motivators of the piece. Carla Kilstead did the music, and what you heard was actually real cow collars. we had to contact each of them to get their permission. So that's what she sampled from. So the next artist we're going to hear from is Ledoh. And I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Ledoh. I don't do this so often. I rarely use words. Just start with gratitude. I mean, I'm just, look at these people, everybody in this room. And being in San Francisco since 1980 allows me to just see the progression, seeing the pit, seeing the whole anarchist household back in the day, like Bayou 22, the other places in the tropical world. To me, it's just in this space here. So I feel grateful to be in the middle of this and seeing the changes. For me, started with this panel of discussion. It was politics and leaving Sunday night. Politics, political. And yes, I was born into a Karen culture in Burma. Yes, it's quite political right now. And also humanitarian issues right now, cyclone. And medium I'm using is political. Ledoh came about after World War II under the occupation of the U.S. And so therefore, I'm not seeking to do political theme per se, but this piece came about 2 years ago. And with the help of Creative Capital Foundation, this allows me, it gives me the time to develop this piece and watch it grow and work with collaborators such as Perry Howman on video art and Matthew O'Gonnell on music, now president living in Seattle. So the pieces continue to grow and working with the dancer I've been working with since 1999. I use the Salt Farm as a laboratory to develop work, to explore, to find people to collaborate, to have a chance to move all together, whether you're a videographer, architect, set design, costume designer, and so forth. And to me, to embody the space, to know when you enter the space, not just a stage, a theater, to pay attention to the riggers, to the lighting board design, operator, to sound and so forth. To me, I'd like to embed the space because I'm doing time in this body, and that's what my approach, my entry point is this body. So how can why do I want to be in this body? Because the only way I can enter being present is verifying that this body exists. I have breath and I have weight. So therefore, that's my validation for the entry point to be present. To me, I can't emphasize this enough for myself. To be present, which means I'm embodying all elements around me, whether political issues or whether any issues that this body must go through. Therefore, I'm allowing myself to be present in order to be interested in how do I allow my mind to participate in this body in day-to-day life. And if I choreograph something, if I am interested in this movement, and if I fully participate in this activity, then perhaps the audience will be interested in this. So that's my influence, or this where I begin my movement. So I'll always come back and register and check on that. So therefore, the past 2 years allowed me to develop this piece called Color of America, which is basically reflecting and challenging my time in the U.S. since I was 11 years old, since 72. So seeing the changes and why my parents were existing, it's a constant question in my teenage years. So therefore, now that I'm a father,